the woman and the serpent had some kind of correlation. There was some kind of agreement. I realize that the world today will just be filled with a lot of troubles, a lot of problems everywhere. So as a woman, you need to understand that you are very vital in this world. You are meant to shine as the words were placed. We are not meant to only shine as the side you say that women are meant to shine only in the kitchen. No, no. As a woman, you're not only just meant to shine maybe as a shop owner, as a kiosk owner, or maybe you get married and then where you feel your light want to shine is one small shop where you be placed and where you be selling goods. No, you're meant to shine all around the world today. You need to advance the world. And I believe that after this program, that you realize that we are, let me use that word, that we are indeed the hope of nations. We are the future of nations. And I believe that God will bless us all in Jesus' name. So this evening, I want to be talking about, just in a few minutes that is left for me, I'm talking about the architecture of a successful person. I'm talking about the architecture of a successful person. Now, the person speaking to you, my name is Bro John, and by God's grace, I'm an architect to be, if I will use that word. And God has helped me over here in North Cyprus. He has helped me, and I have developed some little pedigree for myself, some little, if I would say, some little standard as God has helped me to achieve such feats. And I just want to share one of them with you. You know, just around January last year, because over here, for those of our colleagues that are joining us, maybe some of us that are joining online for this sisters conference from maybe some places outside Cyprus, realize that over here in Cyprus, we are kind of controlled under Turkey. So they had there was some little, when you go to some countries, they tend to do like competitions, and then different departments, they tend to present different feeds to see the best of the best. And then there was a little competition that was held in Turkey. And then over here, we in the small space over here in Cyprus, we were invited, and then from my school, we were sent to represent Cyprus over there in Turkey. And then as God will have it, just as God said in his word, that we are meant to be the head and not the tail. So we came out, as top over here from Cyprus, in the whole Turkey. So I can say that I'm a young professional, and I'm going to be using my profession to speak about the architecture of a successful person. Sometimes when we talk about architecture, someone may just think, okay, I want to talk about building. What concerns building with sisters meeting? What can you say about building with sisters meeting? How does it relate? What sense is there? But I want to speak about architecture in another context. Sometimes when we talk about architecture, we refer to the style in which a building is made. When you go to different countries, we have different styles. In some places, we have, like, some of us are from Nigeria, where you see they use bacha. If you go to some places, they have mud houses. These are styles. Maybe when you come to some places, some European cities, we will start hearing about what they call Corinthian style, Doric style, Ionic style. These are different types of styles, different kind of building styles that emanated over centuries. So the architecture I'm going to be referring to about here is, as a woman, being a successful person, the building blocks that makes you a successful person. We are not talking about a building. We are talking about as an individual, the things that constitute you, the things that make you up. That also we can say is architecture. It's an explanation of architecture in another meaning. And then when we talk about something being successful, we refer to actualization. If you say you are a successful individual, we can say that the things you have envisioned, the things you want to do, they are realized. When something is successful, it means there were sometimes some thoughts were being taken, some things that needed to be actualized. And then when those things were actualized, we could say that this was a successful operation. This was a successful mission. Now, when we take it to building, sometimes as an architect, we envision to build a small building for someone. And then the client comes and say, okay, I want my building this way. I want the color to be shining. I want this one, I want this one. These are just pre-thoughts. But when this thing is actualized, when the building is standing and then the clients are inside, the house is filled with human beings, you can say that this is a successful person. So some building blocks, some things that constitute a successful individual. So that's why I say the architecture of a successful person. So when we look at them, we can just say that if I don't look at them, they are numerous. If we want to start calling different building blocks, they are so much uncountable. Many look around us, you see a lot of things that makes up a successful person. And one of them we want to look at is drive. As an individual, you need to have what drives you. What is your focus? What is your desire? What is your drive in life? What do you want to achieve? Remember when I was introducing, we need to change the narrative. And presently our world is actually changing the narrative, whereby you know that sometimes they say women are just meant for the kitchen, as our beloved president once said, and many other things that old ideologies that were there before. But as our world has evolved, you realize that the woman also wants to be in the same field where the man works. Before we hardly find people that are women that are doing engineering. Some fields of engineering, you hardly find female folks there. But in our present world today, a woman wants to be the mechanical engineer. A woman wants to be the person that is holding the drilling machine and wants to drill the oil. So our world is no more the way it was. It has diversified. There is an opening. So as I said, I talked about drive. As a woman, what is your drive? Your drive as a successful woman, as a woman, you are going to your school. Your drive shouldn't be at the end of life. I want to be just relegated in a man's house. I want to be in the kitchen. No, your drive is I want to make an impact in my generation. I want to make an impact in my field. I want to have some things. I want to leave some landmark in my career. That is a drive. That can be called an architecture that is your makeup for your success. Another thing we'll talk about is reliance. Reliance. You know that in this world we fight a lot of battles. And if someone does not acknowledge the fact that we fight a lot of battles, okay, that is to their own hurt, that is to their own ignorance. But in this life, we are fighting a lot of battles. And when we're talking about tech sisters, we bring in Christianity into the play. And remember, the scripture helps us to understand that in this life, we have a lot of battles. And for us to soar through this life, we need to fight these battles, and we cannot just only rely on ourselves. Remember, the Bible says that trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. Reliance not only on yourself. Yes, there is an opportunity for you to trust yourself a bit, but the whole bulk of your trust should be on God. And then we'll talk about willpower. And let's talk about maybe someone that wants to read the medical field. You need to have willpower. You need to be someone that's able to bring yourself down to study, bring yourself down to read, bring yourself down to make research. Sometimes, okay, someone as an architect also, you want to make some influence in your field. I talk about my field because of recent in architecture, there was a lady that made a very good, a huge difference in our field, though she's late now. But when you go around the world, you hear about people talking about Zaha Hadid. And then even in one of her quotes, I quote her, she said, if you want an easy life, don't choose architecture. Though she's late now, but she's an icon in architecture now because her designs are almost everywhere in the world. But you see that she decided to follow this life. She wanted to follow this life. Though it's challenging, but she wanted to make an impact. So she had the willpower, and then she was able to make the difference in our society. And then another thing we need to talk about is patience. Patience is very, very vital. You want to make an impact in your field, but you need to understand that everything takes time. And time, as I said, is not a matter of months, it's not a matter of days, it's a matter of years. Like when we look at, as I said, when I look at my field, the people we look up to are not young men. We don't look up to young professionals. When you see someone that is top in your field, you hardly see young people. You see old people, people that have taken their time to practice, and then from time they have built experiences. Then you can say, oh, this is a legend in this field. This is an icon in this field. Okay, you can be an icon in a young age, but no, it doesn't mean that maybe yes, you can make some mark at a young age, but you need to have that mind of patience. Our world today is in a rush. Our world today is in a rush. And you need to swim against the tide and give your time. You need to understand that there is room for patience in you and I being successful in our career goals. And then I want to talk about integrity. Very, very important. When you look at our world today, integrity is something that is not lacking. Sometimes in the world we find ourselves, they use another term for integrity. They tend to tag it with another thing. But as a Christian, you need to know that in your career, in your field, you need to be someone of integrity. Integrity stands you out. Integrity puts you in a different spotlight. Like now, when I just of recent, I think for those of us that are following the news, there was something that happened over there in Lagos, Nigeria. There was a building that collapsed. And then when some investigations have been going on, you realize that some materials were not used right. And this thing tends to happen. This is whereby you have professionals, people that are in the field, but they are not people of integrity. Whereby if they say buy 10 iron bars, the person will buy 7. Buy 10 bags of cement, the person will buy 5. Wants to keep the change, wants to have some money. When you know that these things have some mark, some lives will be lost. So in any field you find ourselves, integrity is very important. Even though you might end up not gaining as much as you want to gain, but you need to be people of integrity because there's always a reward for integrity. And then let's talk about passion, another important building block, passion. You need to have passion for your field, passion for anything you want to chase, anything you want to accomplish in life. You need passion to follow your field. Sometimes it can become boring. Sometimes you might feel lazy about it, but you need to have passion. Passion is something that sometimes you pray about, God helps you. He places passion in your heart. You constant practicing can also give you passion. Some people realize that my passion is not I'm not someone that is good in research finding. I'm someone that is more of a practical person. I'm somebody that is more in the field. That's where your passion is. You channel your passion towards what you are reading, so that as time goes on, these are the things that will channel you, and at the end you can say, I'm very successful. I have achieved success in my field and in my pursuit. And then another thing is connection. Now, when I talk about connection, sometimes we think connection is having like a shortcut to where you want to chase. But no, no, that is not what I'm talking about. Connection, connection is the way you build your interrelationship with people. Now, remember that the Bible makes us understand that we should follow peace with all men. Sometimes in building connection, we need to have a good relationship with everyone we relate to, even those within and without the house of God. And that is all we lead to my last point, which is communication. Now, for you to be able to build an effective connection in your field, connection in your career, because as a single entity, you are not an island. As you are alone, you need others in order to make a difference. You need to make connection with others. And then in connecting with others, you need to build a good relationship with them. You need to have a good relationship with them. So, in a nutshell, for us to be successful, for us to look back in our lives and say, I'm a successful person, I have achieved success in my life. I just presented some little points to help us. And I believe that God will help us all in Jesus' name. So, leading, I will like to introduce the next speaker. Um, we have Sister Amarachi. She's the next speaker that we are going to introduce. She's a petroleum engineer and an economics pivoting in digital technology. And she's the author of Revamp Your CV ebook, bettered from experiences gained from being an administrative manager in an oil and gas firm. And then she's also a community member of Everything on Data, where she started a data science journey. And then she's also a community member of the WGEPEF, where she connects with women of like minds for upskilling and personal growth. And also, she's also a data scientist in training, undergoing mentorship by Women Tech Centers, an initiative sponsored by Tech for Dave and Microsoft. And also, she's the CEO of AB Digital Sports, a corner where she intends to apply her skills and knowledge to grow small businesses and individuals. And also, lastly, she's a practical Christian wife and mother of two adorable kids. So let's just, wherever you are, just clap and let's welcome our second speaker.
Hello, good evening. Can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, can you please?
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
Can hear you loud and clear. Wow. I'm using two devices, so if you don't mind, I may want to put off my video so that we can concentrate. I'm using two devices. I'm using my laptop, I'm using my phone. The reason is, Nigerian technology. So if you don't prepare yourself, they can kind of frustrate you. It's a pleasant opportunity to be in your midst this evening. And it's good to see Brother John. Brother John has given us some important things that will help us. One thing in life, whatever you want to achieve, if you do not have passion, you can't go far. Passion distinguishes. Passion does a great lot of things. In times of difficulties, in times of lots of challenges, passion is there to distinguish you. Passion is there to make you keep going. Passion is there to just give you lots and lots of encouragement. So without wasting time, I'll be talking to us about tech for personal growth and kingdom advancement. Tech for personal growth and kingdom advancement. So it's important to know how we use these things to help ourselves. A lot of us have been doing it, but perhaps we've just been doing it, like I say, unconsciously. We just stumble into it, or we just stumble into things. But there is always a purpose why we do things. So I pray that by the time we'll be through this evening, we'll have better understanding. Please, can you enable screen sharing for me? Please enable screen sharing. I'm still disabled. I'm still disabled, please. My laptop. I don't know the way it's showing here. Let me see the participants. The one that is written admin. The one that is written admin. I don't know if that's the name you are seeing there. Let me try again. Okay, yeah, it's up now. It's up now. Thank you. Okay, tech for personal growth and kingdom advancement. As introduced, I'm Amarachi Ugabi. I'm resident in Port Harcourt. So what is tech? We already know what tech is, but let's just say tech is the use of science and engineering to invent useful things or to solve problems. My major point is to solve problem. It's very important that we solve problem. If you're not solving problem and you're using tech, then I don't think you really understand what you are doing. It is to solve problems, to make things easy, make life easier. That is what tech does. Then digital technologies are those tools or systems, devices, whatever that we use. Things like our social media pages, websites, and all that. They are all digital technology. Now, where and how do we use technology? We use it in communication. I'm in Port Harcourt. Some people are in Lagos connecting. Some people are, in fact, the host is in Cyprus, another continent altogether. So these are made possible because of tech. We have communications, not just the voice communications. We also have communications by mails, by writing. All these things are what technology does. We have for data collection. To be honest, as long as you have a social media account, your data is being collected, because on creating an account, you imputed your phone number, you imputed your date of birth, whether you gave the correct one or gave the one that is not correct, your data is there, your state of origin. Even some people go very, very, very detailed to give the schools they attended, primary, nursery, secondary, their husband, number of children, and a whole lot. So these are data that is being collected and managed. That is why sometimes they send you suggestion, friend request suggestion, because they've analyzed your data from your interactions. That's why when you buy something maybe once on Jumia and they keep on following you, Jumia keeps on following you up and down. On Facebook, you see different ads up and down. All these things come because they're seeing you, seeing your activities. And because they're seeing your activities, they can predict your character or your habits or your shopping habits or the next thing you're going to do. Now, for research, most of us are in school, undergraduate, postgraduate. Sometimes they're asked to write technical paper, to write one or two things. In fact, even children in secondary school, primary school, they give them now assignments that require that they use the internet. So these are things you use technology for. For security, we have phones that are embedded with cameras and some other more security applications that can CCTV and all that. That is what technology does. For education, what to learn, you can also teach a remote teacher. In fact, COVID has given us a good and practical example. During COVID, most universities, advanced world, they were able to use technology to teach their students wherever their students were. There was no hindrance to them, unlike in our Nigerian setting. I don't think there was any university that really had time, not just time, the resources to do that, perhaps private universities, but for public universities, we know that wasn't possible. So these are not limited. These things are listed, they are not limited, but these are the things you can use tech for. Now, your role as a female in tech, you need to leverage tech for businesses, for gainful employment, and for kingdom influence. And I'm going to be talking about just these three things within the short time I have. Now, for businesses, there are people that when you stumble on their social media pages. Now, I'll be talking about social media pages, but it's not the only place. Social media pages are because not just pages, social media, whether Facebook page or personal Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, all these channels, LinkedIn, all these channels, WhatsApp, they all have their different ways to use them. Now I come to talk about Facebook. Facebook is more like a community. You get community of people, not just only your family. There are groups. In fact, in the world today, billions of people register Facebook daily. There are millions and millions of people on Facebook. So you can imagine you're advertising your business. And as advertising your business on Facebook, it spreads. And then if someone helps you to share whatever it is that you've advertised or you tag people, your visibility increases. And then why people like Facebook is Facebook gives you the access, not just only maybe your picture, It's not just only your picture, but then you can really write or describe whatever it is you want to advertise. And then not only that, you can put up videos, infographics, whatever it is. Facebook is that flexible. Instagram is not too flexible for writing long things and content, but the power of Instagram is on videos and pictures. TikTok is for videos and all that. Now, these places, these communities, they are there for you to advertise your business, what you do. And remember, what the eye sees, it sticks to the brain. Yes. So today you post, tomorrow you post, next tomorrow you post, and then you talk about your business. It enters subconscious mind of people. So at the first instant, they may not really buy, but over time they begin to, will I say, know that is what you do. They begin to like you. They begin to trust you, especially when you start sending social proofs. Yes, like you see people that when they deliver goods, they will come and snap and tell you this good is this product was bought by so and so person and is leaving so and so place to another place. We did free delivery for this and all that. That is, they're trying to build social proof so that people can understand and see that, okay, what this person is doing is moving. People are patronizing it, and then the person has good name or good record because of what the person is doing. So that is what you can use your business for. These days, people no longer rent big shop and stocking goods. They can stocking goods in one corner of their house and they begin to trade from their house. What they do, they have the picture of their goods. It's on their WhatsApp status, it's on the Facebook stories, it's on the Facebook page, it's on Instagram, everywhere it is. They litter all the social media with it. What people do, they call them and then they send delivery people. Not only products, even services. People now go to houses, other people's houses to render services. If it's the one that can be done remotely, people can stay in their houses and do remote business. So that is what technology has helped to do in businesses. Aside personal business, or you can even call it branding, how it's called branding is over time, people begin to know what you do, especially if you have a registered business. Your name, your color, what you do, people just get attached to that name. They even forget your original name and they begin to call you, let's say you sell Zobo, and people begin to call you Madam Zobo, Madam Zobo, Madam Zobo. That is a brand you have built over time on social media. Now, another thing business does is e-commerce, in that you can be involved in importation and exportation. You can stay in your house and anyway, you'll be trained. You can stay in your house and you are in touch with China, you're in touch with Turkey, you're in touch with different countries, and then you go through websites. From websites, you take contacts of suppliers, you interact with them, and then they send you goods, you pay, you make payments. Technology has made things quite easy for people to do. So importation is no longer seen like a big man thing. You have to have some billions of money before you send in your containers and all that. No, you can actually just start with little, at least $500,000, as long as you know what you're doing and you are well guided and taught. So that is what technology has been able to do with businesses. So it's true that it's not everybody that we go to university or we have formal education or even upon graduation will be employed or something like that. But then the idea is that no one is expected to be idle, even as a female. Brother John has told us that women used to be known as people that are experts in the other room, experts in kitchen. No, it is not in 2021. In 2021, women are making waves, big waves. Women are going far. They're doing lots of things. So it is time we reposition ourselves and have a better thinking of what we want to be now and then where we want to be in the nearest future. So it's not all about I finished NYSC, so I'm waiting for one brother. No man right now wants to marry a liability because times are hard. It is hard. It is difficult. So you can't leave payment of tuition, house rent, your family, his family and everything for a man. No, those times are gone. So it is time that you sit up, women will sit up and then find where we want to be. Now, I've talked about business. Now, let me talk about gainful employment. This is perhaps where I may spend most of my time. Now, there is need to build skills. A lot of people a lot of people in our climb, most of our sisters, they can hardly type even a Microsoft Word document, just to type on documents, even to prepare their CV. They can hardly do that. They cannot operate computer, just Microsoft Word, not even something advanced like Microsoft Excel or even PowerPoint, just Microsoft Word. They find it very difficult to do. This is 2021, to be honest. And there is really no job. If it's a sales gear job you want to do now, that there will be no need for computer operator. There is great need, because people, what they do now is every documentation is now done online, either on cloud, that's saved on cloud, or that backed up in the local drive of computer. So there is need. While as an undergraduate, you have 1 month holiday, you have 2 months holiday, go for computer trainings, or you meet someone to teach you, or you even, as it is now, have a greater percent of youths, they actually know how to do these simple things like Microsoft Word, Excel, and then PowerPoint. Then aside that, Microsoft, they're also the big corporation in the world, as we know. So they have their own packages. Google also have their own packages. All Google packages are on cloud. You can have Google Forms, how to create forms with Google. Though Microsoft does it, but Microsoft is mostly for organizations, and because of that, they're expensive. But Google, as long as you have a Gmail account, automatically you have a Google account. Mail is part of the applications that Google has. So you should be able to use Google Suites, like not just your Gmail. You have Google Calendar. You should be able to know how to use Google Calendar, how to create forms on Google, how to use Google Documents. Is the same thing as Microsoft Word, just little variations. How to use Google Slides. It's the same thing with PowerPoint slides. How to use Google Sheets. It's the same thing with Excel Sheets. And to be honest, Excel Sheet or Google Sheets, they are not just one of just those things, no. But they are advanced in that they have formulas embedded in them that can do whole lots of things. So it is important to have at least basic knowledge of these skills before you now begin to advance. Brother John talked about architecture. I don't really know the exact tools or softwares they use in architecture, but I know that there are things like MATLAB, there are things like I think Figma, things you use for design. They don't design with pen and paper again. No, those era is past. You design, you have tools to design with. Yes, I know that life in Africa can be difficult, and it's quite difficult for an undergraduate to own computer. But right now, even our parents, they now understand that we really need computer. So part of the investment you should do, aside getting a good phone, you should also try to get a good computer or a good laptop so that it can assist you in your work. So whether it's in accounting, there are several softwares, QuickBook, Sage, and other things that you can use. Yes, in human resources, there are tools, there are softwares in project management, there are Asana and many of that. So if you have graduated, you have studied something in school, if you come out, to be honest, the Nigerian educational system is the gap of the Nigerian education system to the industry is still very, very far. So once you come out, you don't just come out and fold your hands and you have come out. No, you need to close that gap. And closing that gap is for you to get skills relevant for your organization. Sorry, not for your organization, relevant for that particular career or career path you have chosen. Now, because this is all about tech, I'll be talking to us about tech skills. In the world today, high-paying jobs are tech skills. High-paying jobs are tech skills. I have some things I would like to share with us. I believe we are still seeing the screen. Yes, can we still see? Please, can you still see my screen? Because I've changed screen. Okay, if you can see it, no problem. I'm no longer on PowerPoint. Okay, I'm no longer on PowerPoint. All right, now I have top skills in demand in 2021, the 27 high-paying skills of the future. If you go down, you are going to see they have coding and software enhancement, network development, soft skills, algorithm designers, cloud computing, UI designer. UI designer is analyst, public relations, economical view, video. You're still seeing PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. You have software computing analyst, public relations, economical view, video production, audio production, sales, digital marketing, copywriting, content, blockchain, blah, blah, blah. If you go through this, to be honest, they're all tech skills that, see, is written high-paying skills of the future. But if you go through them, if you just go through them, they're tech skills. But the beauty of it is you don't need to be a lover of mathematics before you can feature in tech. Most people think tech is all about coding. For me, because I have a background in petroleum engineering, I love anything mathematical. I love anything statistical. So because of that, I am comfortable coding. Yes, I love to do that. I'm very comfortable with it. But for you who do not have an engineering background, or you don't have the passion, the flair to play with those codes, let me use the word codes, you don't have passion for it, there are things you can fit in. Copywriting. What is copywriting? Is some people that are very good at writing persuasively. That is how you want to even beg someone for something, instead of just saying, please give me pen. That is how you construct your English and the person will give you pen. That is copywriting. Now you want to sell a piece of land.
Oh, Walaka. I don't know why I like that one.
So you may want to sell a piece of land, and instead of just writing, this land is available, come and buy. Instead of saying, come and buy this land, 20,000, 30,000 is available. There are ways you can just write and you persuade people. That's the word, persuade. You persuade people to buy you. I don't know whether to use the word entice. That is how you write. People will buy. There are people that are gifted in storytelling. They just want to talk about bottled water. But the way they started the story, you just be glued to it. You will read and read and read. Then towards the end, it's bottled water they're talking about. And then most times, in fact, before you even know it is bottled water, you're already interested. So there are many things you can do aside coding. There are many things you can do aside coding. So tech is not just all about coding, programming language, Python, JavaScript, C++. No, these are the things that scare a lot of sisters preferably, because they believe that their head cannot carry it. Who told you? Your head can carry it, but it may not be that that is where you are passionate about, or where your passion lies. So whether it is you are good in writing, you can be a technical writer. Yes, there are roles, as in recently, even the tech industry, they also care about your technical skills like coding and all that, but it doesn't end there. If you're not good at communication, you're not good at people management and relationship, then to be honest, you don't have anything to do in the tech world, because most times tech works are even done remotely. So you can't imagine you are employed as a software engineer, and then you were asked to create an app, and you started, and they gave you 1 month or 2 months to do that. And first week, you were not able to communicate with your manager to tell your manager, this is where I have reached, or this is we have not reached, and stuff like that. And then what you're just interested in, let the 2 months just reach, let me not dump the thing they've asked me to do. It's not like that. Most times, in fact, even in the tech world, you don't work alone, you work with people. Let's say we want to achieve a product. we want to bring in a product to the market. It is not only one group of persons that will be involved. You're going to get those that are going to be in charge of the software development. There's even the one they call front end, the one people see. There is back end, where they go and do all the coding things that people do not see. Then there are another set of people that are in charge of security. They call them cyber security. There's another set of people that are in charge of the analytics, the data scientists and machine language experts and artificial intelligence. So you don't work alone. So your ability to collaborate with different teams, your ability to communicate, your ability to tolerate, your ability to be patient. So these are soft skills, people skills. So in tech, there are a whole lot of things available for females to do, for sisters to do. So it's for you to sit down, know what you're passionate about. There are some people that are good photographers. When they snap pictures here, you'll be like, wow. You can also use it. It can be useful in tech. So that is that. Let me go back to where we started from. Okay. Now, I just want to show some ladies that have done very well for themselves in Africa. In Africa, we have 10 female tech professionals in the world, sorry, in Africa. What they have done, and I think is commendable, is really commendable. If you look at them, you call them slay queen, or give them names. They are buying expensive hair, this, that, and all that. Well, most of them can afford it, and then it's not their fault too. Their level of exposure, that is where their level of exposure is. But you can learn one or two things from them. Now I'm going to, the first person is Adora Mudu. She works with Microsoft as a software engineer. Her salary is less than ₦1 million monthly, and she's not paid in naira, she's paid in dollars. What she does, she builds cloud services for an artificial intelligence. She studied in the University of Lagos computer science. She also has a book. What's even the name of her book? I think First Step into Programming, something like that, which she sells. She sells alone. It's true that these ones are not Christians. They're not they're not in our community. But then, like I said, let's learn one or two things from them. So she has she has a blog. She does many things. This other person, Abiola, is a product designer at Flutterwave. What her career path is user interface, user design. She also has her own, most of them, they actually have their own individual companies where they train others and do a host of other things. We have Omolara Adejo, pardon me, I may not be good at pronouncing their names. This one is an editor. So this one, she's not a software developer, she's not into coding, but she's an editor. And her career path has been in the tech industry, and she has been doing very well, very, very well. We have Ibukun Akinawa. Jesus, help me with these names. Okay. She's also a virtual assistant. She works with a virtual assistant in an agency. When they say she's the launch lead, her career path is product design. Yes, the launch product, and then she's a product manager. She's the lead of them. Olato, please, the Yorubas here, please, pardon me. Well, since we can see it, let's just pronounce it. This one is a DevOps engineer. DevOps is the people that they do development operations, yes. But cloud, you know, there are things you save on cloud. There's what we know as cloud computing, cloud storage, and many other things. As it is now, if I save this my presentation on a cloud, anywhere I am in the world, I can access it with any device. Whether my laptop falls into water today or not, I don't bother, because I've saved everything on cloud. So there are people who are experts in cloud. Now, this one, She's the vice president of growth at Software. She entered into tech to help businesses focus on improving payment and expanding Nigeria's digital economy. So she has worked with Paystack, and I'm sure we know Paystack. Paystack is one of the leading payment gateways in Nigeria, followed by Flutterwave. You can use it for international payments. Then Anekan Inyang, she's a data scientist at Steers Business. So she used data to help organizations build products, solve problems, and optimize processes. Yeah, she's my blood group. I'm a data scientist too. Now we have another person, Ada Nduka Oyom. She's a developer relations at Google. And to be honest, these jobs, they are not paid in Naira. They are not paid in Naira. They are paid in dollars, big time dollars. Most of them are paid per hour, $50 per hour, $100 per hour. When you begin to count, let's just leave that. Now, she's a founder of She Code Africa. I am a member of She Code Africa. What we do there is a community of tech. So when you come in there, when you sign up to be a member, you're directed to we have a Slack community. And in that Slack community, what we do there is, if you want to go into any tech tools, any tech parts, maybe data science, maybe product management, cybersecurity, technical writing, whichever, there is a channel that has been designed for that. So once you join, they have admins, people that direct you, they give you access to learn courses, they pair you with partners that can, they call them accountability partners, so that you know that you're not alone. Yeah. And aside that, they give some gifts. I think in September, She Code Africa, this her community, they celebrated her 5 years. So in that 5 years anniversary, they gave out laptop to several people and several other gifts. In fact, being a member of this community, there's a place where we buy sanitary towels. And for you to buy sanitary towels there as a member, you have 10% discount of everything you buy. So it's more like a community where women help other women. It's not feminism stuff for Biko. Then there is Olainka. She is a product designer at OP. I'm sure we know OP. Yes. They're the last person, Layo Ogumbawo. She's a vice president of product at PiggyVest, and I'm sure we know PiggyVest. She's also a mentor at Google for Startup Accelerator Program. So most of these women or these ladies, they were not sitting down just somewhere, just hoping for a young man to walk up to them. From while they were undergraduates, they've already decided what to do with themselves and how to pursue them. See, to be honest, most people feel, or most ladies or sisters, they feel once they begin to advance, PhD, they start making money, men begin to look at them as, can this one be humble? Can this one be humble? No, it's not like that. Any man that is intimidated by your success, sister, that man is not for you. Yes, any man that is intimidated by your progress, that man is not for you. The man should be happy that you are living the Proverbs 31 kind of a woman. Yes, that you are being virtuous, that you are being useful to yourself, and you are being an asset to the person. Now, I know that some persons may have questions in their minds like, okay, I want to learn tech. I just want to find myself in tech, but I don't know where or how to go about it. Like I said, you can join communities. You can look for someone you know that is a tech, that is into tech, and then tell the person to mentor you. Mentorship is not the one the person will be chasing you up and down. Have you done this? Have you not done this? And something like that. You can look for the person to like, okay, and these are my interests. Can you just guide me? Let me just tailor my interests to my passion and my skills. and then maybe the person can give you direction. Then also, there are places to learn. On Coursera, Coursera is a place where you learn. There is Coursera, there is Udemy. Now, for me, I was fortunate to know how to take some courses for free on Coursera, courses that were not supposed to be free. And let me take the honor to walk us through that. I know that most people, they find it difficult. Their problem is the courses are you pay for them, something like that. Yeah, okay. This is my Coursera account. Let me see. I want to learn digital marketing. Digital marketing. Now it's going to bring out several. It's still loading. A little patience, please. Okay, Coursera has different ways by which you learn. You can learn by doing projects. They call those ones guided projects. You can learn by having a degree, just like in the university, that's 4 years. You can learn like that. You can also learn by taking there's what they call certificate courses, which you can cover in 6 months, in 2 months, in 1 month, depending on your drive. Now let's look at this one, Facebook social media marketing. They said it's a professional certificate. Meanwhile, there are free courses, but I don't want to look for the free one because the free one, filter here, language, level, duration, subject, skills. You can just play around with the sites. I want to look for the one that is paid so that I can show us how to navigate paying for these courses. Is legitimate. It's not an illegal way. Okay, anyone that is written certificate, most of them are written certificates. They are courses before. Now this one is still should enroll. Most times it will no longer be free. If after these things, if there are some that will tell you register for 1 week free trial, 1 week trial, something like that, which is a course that you are sure that within 1 week you cannot finish because of certificate courses that are $300, $300, almost 150,000, which I'm not sure that we have. So when you check any of them and you see this thing, financial aid available, you click on it. Now, this enroll and start learning today, it is here like this because this course is still free. If this course is not free, you see continue to the application. Now, this place, I will still look for another one. This place that is saying enroll and start learning, if the course, the free period of that course is closed, what you are going to see is continue for trial period, for 7 days trial. And once you click on it and continue, after 7 days, you no longer have access to it until you pay for the course. So the best thing is to ignore here and come to continue to application. Now, if you go to application, what you're doing is you are applying for financial aid. So what you are going to see is they'll tell you we are proud to offer financial programs, blah, blah, blah. We ask that every applicant, blah, blah, blah. Let me just go through it. You tick these ones, then you write what they have written there. I agree to the terms above. Click on continue. Now you are going to fill your educational background. You're going to fill your annual income as students is 00. Yes, remember you're applying for a grant for financial aid. Then your employment status, you are going to fill them. Then how much they can pay you, how much you can afford to pay. Since it's a grant you're asking for, it should be 0 naira. Then you're going to write for them why you're applying for this financial aid. And the reason can be, I am a student, I don't have, I'm struggling, or in fact, convincing reason why, just like why you need a loan or why you need payment. So you're going to explain to them, and then why you want to take the course, because it's going to help your career goal and all that. By the time you are done telling them these things, you submit. Within 15 days, within 2 weeks, they're going to get back to you. And 100% of the time, they're going to give you that course free. So in a year, you're entitled to five of those courses. Yes. So you can use the opportunity to cool down and learn something that can help you. You can also go to Udemy, you can go to YouTube, and you learn some of these things free. Now, why you need tech skills as a female? You can work remotely anywhere, whether you have children, you don't want to be going along the road, you can work remotely. You can freelance, you don't need to be employed by anyone, you can stay and take up contracts. Then the payment is high. So I remember women are multitaskers. They think analytically. So there are communities you can join depending on your career path. You can go to Google and find out. Now, for kingdom advancement, which I really like us to put our eyes into, this will be the last thing I will talk about. Now, you see most churches, when their GO is celebrating birthdays, when they have program, whatever it is they have, they don't waste time. They don't even, in fact, whether it is in their parish, whether it is in their state, they don't bother. What they do, since it is God's work, they begin to advertise it. They share flyers, they share posts, if it's videos, they see on people's status, they collect, they share. What you are doing is you are doing kingdom advancements. Yeah, as you share this information, it gets across to several people, they begin to see it, and then before you know, 1 or 2 persons will attend. Then you can begin to write your testimonies, how you got born again, how you got saved, content. You know, we should be content producers and not consumer. How? Once you are not writing on this social media platform, but you go there every day to read, what you are doing, you are reading other people's things, you are consuming. But once you become a producer, you are the one producing. Today you went for a Bible study and the pastor preached a particular message and you understood something, you can choose to write it out. Yes, these are the rules for kingdom advancement. Like you saw our beautiful sisters when they wear their pleated skirts and they make their natural hair and they snap pictures and put on social media. What you're trying to tell them is that though the world can go naked, but people like us, we cannot go naked. GS has told us that it is posting for posting, content for content. So this is it. As they're posting their nude pictures, you're posting your pictures were covered. As they're whatever it is that are bragging about, you are doing your own. And to be honest, the need for even tech skills, for me, in fact, sometime this year, I was just with burden in my heart. I was like, there's a kind of money I'm looking for that I will create an activity that will counter BBN Nigeria. While they're doing their own, I'm doing my own. You will see most of our sisters, you see them under Bobrisky page. What they're doing there is maybe Bobrisky will say, I want to do 5K giveaway. And they already know Bobrisky is a transgender, but because they're hungry, they're looking for 5K, you see them, they'll go under the post and write, bless you, sir. May God favor you. Remember me, sir. This is my account number. Why they're being vulnerable to all those things is they're trying to survive, or they're just looking for money. Before you know, all virtually everything about them, they pour it on social media. That is where you see that we really need to step up. We need to step up so that we can get this money. There can be someone that can just get this money. Like for me, I always tell people there's a kind of money I get and I may decide to do giveaway on social media. I'll make it public. I'll say this month I'm giving 200K to 20 people, as in 10K each. And part of the rules of the competition can be create a video, a 10 minutes video reciting any favorite scripture of the Bible. And I'm sure that when you put that thing and say 10K, people will go and sit down. Someone will start Psalm 91. Somebody will memorize Psalm 91 and sit down, make a video and all that. Before you know, you are creating activities that will encourage people to get involved in kingdom work and kingdom advancement, but we need money. The scriptures has already told us that through prosperity, the gospel shall be yet spread abroad. So for us to really do well, we need to assist us to have a niche technically, and then also know how to use these technical skills, to use our technical expertise to advance the kingdom, to use our technical tools to advance kingdom. Whatever social media page you are using, you are not there to go and be, you snap picture, you bend your neck and bring out your tongue and you bend leg like this. No, that is not what you are there for. But you are there for modesty. You are there to show the world that it is true that there are Jezebels everywhere. But as a Christian sister, you are not a Jezebel. There is a Deborah in you. And as you go about understanding and knowing how to leverage all these tools for kingdom advancement, I trust the Lord that He will give you wisdom to excel. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. This is all I have for this moment so that smarter people can continue. Thank you.
Mingo. Thank you, Amarachi. Thank you. That's wonderful. Is wherever you are, can we just clap our hands? Appreciate God. You can clap your hands. That's wonderful. I mean, thank you once again. We want to proceed. We're going to take the last speaker. Please don't go away, because there's something God has for you this evening. The Bible said in Proverbs chapter 7, verse 12, one of my popular scriptures, was a favorite scripture rather. Wisdom is a defense. Money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it. So we appreciate God. We are here to gather to get wisdom, gain wisdom, and we are here to position ourselves so that money will begin to flow. And just as she said, we need it in this kingdom. The first speaker cited something that's very important, how that we are important in God's program. Women, we are part of God's program for this last time, this end time. And this will lead us to get into the last seminar. Our brother Jeremiah, our pastor, one of our pastors in India, he is a professional, an IT professional, IT personnel, a researcher doing his PhD, currently researching on Internet of Things, machine learning, and all that. So Jeremiah has done projects on designing and implementation of various protocols in networking, and projects on anomaly and intrusion dictation systems, projects on packets generation. Moreover, he is experienced in networking and security, as he is currently the IT and network security engineer of Pondi Security Solutions. Pondi Security Solutions is something that is a project that was begun by one of our brothers too. And I believe that the Lord will bless us and will position us as we listen. So I have the honor to invite my brother Jeremiah, a researcher, a scholar, an IT tech personnel. Jerry, if you are there, you can take just on your video so that we can. Brother, let's prepare his slides so that he will take over. So while we're waiting for him, okay, just put your video on, so that. So let's spotlight him If you have questions, we're going to provide opportunities for you to. Okay. Okay, give us.
Audible? Hearing again. What about now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the privilege, Pastor, to share a little experience with us. Like they always say, that in networking, women are the gateway to the world. So let's have this at the back of our mind that as women, we are gateway to the world. And this evening, by the grace of God, we're talking about women and technology. I will share my screen so that we can see. So we can see. Can you see my screen, please? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Yes. I'm going to play a video, just a 2-minute video. You will see. I want you to just think. Women and technology. I want you to think as you're watching the video, just think. Think if you're in that home, if you're in that house, what will you do? If you're surrounded by that kind of technologies or technology, what will you do? As you watch the video, I want you to just think. It's a 2-minute short video. Just watch it and think. Okay. Yeah. You have watched that video. What do you think? You know, just like the first speaker said, the president said that women are in the other room. And I want you to just take a thought of what the world would look like in 5 years' time if Christ started. What would the world look like? As a lady, you know, some people say, oh, I just want to, just like the last speaker said, just get married. And after I get married, I'll just go to I'll go under a brother and then just start living with him. Can you imagine that house if, as a lady, you're not a tech lady, you don't know anything about technology, and then you happen to come into that home? It's just like something I heard of a lady who got married to somebody. And then that night he got married, the brother was a tech brother. Everything in his apartment are smart devices. And then this young lady decided to wake up early in the morning to prepare breakfast for the husband and just to surprise the husband. And then what happened? And she went into the kitchen. And then as she entered into the kitchen, the technology said, good morning, what do you want for breakfast? And she ran out of the kitchen. Oh my God, what's that? She ran out of fear. Oh, what is going on? Who is speaking? Like, what happened? You can see that kind of exposure. You can see what is going on. You can see what happened there. She don't know anything about technology. And that is what is happening today. That the world is advancing very fast in technology. And women being the gateway of the world today, very important. A woman has a very great role to play in technology. What if I tell you that most companies today, they spend 70 to 80% advertising their product and services to women? Just like the last speaker, she just finished showing us about those top 10 women professionals in tech and all this. Many companies today, many products today, all of them are being channeled to women. What if I tell you that women are responsible for buying 70% of consumable products? Have you thought of that? Have you thought of all this? Then why should a woman not be part of a tech? Why should women not be connected to tech? You know, we are no more in that era of, okay, let's go and sew clothes, let's go and let's just take something to the market. We just want to buy market. We also want to do businesses and whatever you want to do today, let's just go out. But I tell you, the world is fast growing. In fact, researchers says that in 2026, over 60 billions of devices in the world will be smart. But where will a woman who does not know anything about technology, where will she stand? Our daddy, the man of God, used to tell us that we, the watchmen, we rock the world. That is, he told us that God will make us inventors. Not only the young men, but the ladies also. That is to tell you that tech, all those innovation and everything is all about thinking. It's all about coming to a point and saying, what will I do? What thing will I design? How will I come up with something? How will I bring out something that is new? Just like the last speaker said, it's not all about coding. Coding. I'm not a good coder. In fact, I'm not a programmer. I'm not into programming. But I can tell you that when you sit down to think and think of that thing that is in your hand, that mobile device, what will you add to it? What will you add to that mobile device? That's your business. That business you are into, you are selling clothes, you are selling shoes, whatever business you are doing. How can I be able to make this business? What will I add to this business that it can reach the clients all over the world? That kitchen you're into the kitchen, you're cooking or whatever things you're doing. How will I add something to my kitchen that will make it more easy for me to work, for me to do a job? So easy. What will I do? All these things is what we talk about technology today. All these things we are talking today, see the cars moving without human driving it, smartphones, smart homes. In fact, this coronavirus had made things more smarter. So that is why this seminar or this presentation is being brought to us, and I've been given the privilege by our pastor to speak. And I'll share a little of my experience so that it can help us, because I tell you, those women and all of them, we are able to overcome them. We are able to be better than them. The tech world is so easy. Just like the speaker just said, it is your mind, it is your passion. It's not difficult as you think. It's not the coding as you think. It's not about, oh, let me start programming or anything. Yeah, all those things are there. But how do you think? Let's not start thinking about the ancient and start going back and start thinking of the world has passed that stage. What then is technology? According to Oxford Language, it is the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, especially in industries. But I can tell you now, in fact, while preparing this slide, I just had to think of what to add to this. And like I told you, it's all about thinking and then how will you make things new? And I can say with every day we use tech in our lives. Every second we use tech. Whether you are in or out, wherever you're doing, whatever you're doing, we use tech. But the only disadvantage today is that many don't know, many don't understand. They are not interested in tech. They just think, oh, let me just like the last speaker said, okay, let me just see if I finish school, or let's say I just pray for the will of God and I get married, and then you just, but I tell you, nowadays, not many men, not all, are looking for those who have knowledge. And knowledge is key. Knowledge is powerful because the world is advancing today. So what is then technology, like we said? It's an application of the scientific knowledge for practical purposes in our everyday lives. Whatever we see today, applying it in our everyday life. According to the world sex ratio, women constitute 49.5% of the world population. That is, if you talk of the world population today, in fact, women are almost half of the world population today. But in the tech workforce, women are just 28.8%, which is very low. Women are, the percentage of women in the tech, very low. Just is something that if you go to every institute, or if you go to every research field, or if you go to every places whereby you see tech industries, tech companies, you see less women there. You might even see only one woman or two women or three, like that. Why is this so? Whereas the population of women are almost equal with men, but in the tech world, 28.8%. Maybe if you come to the ministry like this, how many of us are tech ladies, are tech sisters? If we must say, okay, this program has come up, how many of us will decide today to say, I want to be a tech sister? Because you can see the percentage of the world. That is, there are a lot of opportunity. That is, there is a high opportunity for a woman who is interested in tech to become so popular. That is, it's so easy compared to a man. Because in the world today, there are so many men. Men is dominating the tech world. So that is, it takes just a project for a woman to just do a project. And then her name is heard everywhere. Where I'm doing my research, one of the professors told me that I have to design an algorithm. And I was like, oh, sir, design an algorithm. He said, look at, a lady just did that. A lady just designed an algorithm. And now everywhere is, the lady's algorithm is going everywhere and everywhere. I was like, wow. But there are other people that have designed an algorithm. But why is it that lady? Is there something special? Because she's a lady. And like, oh, she's so interested in tech. One of it, also where I'm doing my research, also, another lady, another professor who came from Poland. He came from Poland for a research work. And then he came for a seminar. And then while he sat down there, and a lady was following him and working with him. And then while the lady was presenting her research work, the professor saw and said, wow, this your research work is equivalent to mine. I love it. I'm going to take it. And decided to pick that lady's work. Whereas there are other people there. That is to tell you that a lady can be easily seen in the tech world more than the men. But where are the ladies? Why are they far away from tech? Let's see. So why then is the low percentage of women in tech? Why is it that women are not involved in them? Why is it that they are not interested? Let's see why. Let's see some of the things. Look at one. The exclamation of, oh my God, she is a girl. Oh yes. Everybody, oh my God, a girl did it. Wow. If a girl do something new now, everybody will say, wow, a girl did it. She's a girl. She's the one that is working on this research work. She's the one that is working on this. She's the one that invented this. Oh, even in a smart home. Wow. If a lady is operating a smart home, now, wow, a lady, you know how to operate this. You know how to operate a phone. So many things like technologies, computers, coding, networking, cloud computing, all those things, wherever ladies are, and a lady is doing something new, or a lady is doing something that is so, in fact, you cannot explain it. Everybody will be like, wow, oh my God, she's a girl. And that has made many ladies to say, oh, it's not possible. That is why many ladies today and many young women are not interested in tech. Instead, they are just interested in going for going backward. They are still thinking backward. How will I do this business? How will I do this business? Even without even bringing tech into it. I want to tell you that even in 2 to 3 years' time, if your business is not associated with tech, it will not move. Between 2 years to 3 years' time, if your home, or let's say your home or whatever devices you are using is not tech, you might not be able to survive in this world. You might not be able to be comfortable in this world, even as a lady. Even I was seeing something, I was going through some research work. I saw that even in the designing world today, in the fashion designing, it is all about tech. Robots have been designed that we cut garments and sew garments. In fact, they just put the garment, the major side. Robots now are doing it. Robotics are going into it. Now tell me, will somebody want to come today now where robotics are doing designing, robotics are doing fashion designing today? What will somebody do? A sister will now say, okay, come on, somebody who does not know technology, and maybe God blesses somebody and say, okay, let me get you some robotics and all those. He say, no, I don't want robotics. Just buy me a sewing machine. Oh my God. You see, or somebody say, okay, let me give you some smart home devices. I want to bless you with some smart home devices. You say, oh, no. I don't know how to operate it. Just like somebody who wanted to prepare breakfast for the husband, and then he went to the kitchen, and then the smart device, he said, good morning. What do you want for breakfast? She ran out of the kitchen. Oh, look at that. Because she's not advanced in technology. And I tell you today, all things are connected to women. Women are the ones that need to operate all these devices. So, oh my gosh, she's a girl. All those things can cause a lady to be intimidated. A lot of women are not interested in technology. They are not interested. I tell you, many are not interested. If you ask any woman, what is it? You speak to her, what is your vision? What do you want? What? She tells you, I want to make money, business. I want to be a fashion designer. I want to be. None of them will tell you. In fact, out of 100%, I can tell you only 2 or 3% will tell you, I want to go into tech world. 97% will tell you that I want to do business. I want to sell clothes. I want to import shoes. I want to do this. All these things. And I can tell you today, the world has passed that stage. The world has passed that stage. The world has passed that level. The world is no longer at that point. Everything now is tech. And that is why a lot of women today need to be interested. And God is bringing this for us so that we can begin to think. Because like our daddy has said, God has released inventors, and you and I are those inventors. You and I, you, this wonderful sister that is listening to me, you are that inventor. This is brought for you to know, for you to understand, and you need to think and come out with something. You need to start associating yourself with this tech. You need to understand the technology world today and see what women are doing in the tech world. Some women believe that men dominate the tech world. Oh, if I go into this tech world, men are so much there. Men are everywhere. How will I be able to come out of it? But I tell you, all those beliefs, they are just fallacies. In some countries, we know some countries which I will not mention just for some reasons, they place ban on women into technology based on their belief. They stop women from operating technologies. All these things cause a low percentage of women in tech. Less pay because she's a woman. Some companies, they just say, okay, they would want to give some women because she's a woman, or just put her, they will not have to give her the better job. So marriage beliefs, something that if she gets married, wow, she gives birth to a child, she's on maternity. So many reasons, so many and lot more. All these things are the cause. But let's get inspired by two women, two tech women. Let's see their words. Let's get inspired by their words. See this person, although she's late, Ada Lovelace, a mathematician and a writer. What she said. When I was younger, I felt discouraged from exploring computing and technology because of the stereotypes of women in technology, just like as I said, because of the stereotype, because of the belief that were imposed on me. I was also seen as odd and boyish because of my interests, such as video games and coding. Yeah, when you see a lady, many people start, when you see a young woman carrying computers, interested in coding, somebody just picture her and look as if, oh, this thing you are doing is for men. In fact, some people might say, are you a man? This thing you are doing, are you a man? Or you see somebody interested in a tech world. You see somebody always watching news about tech world, trying to associate himself or herself with the world, with the advancement of the world. And somebody say, are you a man? And all those things. But she was seen as odd and boyish because she had interest for video games and coding. Many of us don't have interest for tech things. We don't have interest. If you take our phone, all we just check is WhatsApp. Oh, we chat WhatsApp, we check Facebook, we send message to Facebook, we send message to WhatsApp and all those things. We upload status, we have not sat down to think and say, how was these things done? How can I use this to make my business? How can I use this to do something new for my life? If I enter my home tomorrow, or if I am married today, how can I use this to better my home? All these things, she was interested in video games and coding. And it was not shared by girls at her age. And then she did not want to be seen differently. That is, she had this desire, but she hid it. Because if she come out with it, it will be seen differently. And then she was working on technology. She was working on so many things. Without her passion, without her desire, without her goal, she was working on that secretly, because if she comes out and says, okay, this is what I'm doing, they'll say, oh, are you a boy? Are you a girl? Are you this? Are you that? Who are you? What are you doing? You are a girl. And then she'll be discouraged, but she heard that. And instead of accepting who I was, I decided to hide these parts of my life from others in an effort to assimilate with my friends. Remember the first speaker and even the second speaker said, communication matters. Many of us, we don't communicate. We don't relate with those who are in the tech world, those who understand most of these things, most of these devices we use. Sometimes you see somebody coming to tell you, please, I don't know how to operate my phone. I don't know how to operate my camera and all this. And then you'll be surprised. This phone in your hand, what are you using it for? You don't know how to operate. Some people don't know how to operate a smartphone. All these things, she had to assimilate herself with friends. And then realize by doing this, she stripped away every uniqueness and learned to welcome this side of who she was, who she desired to be. And at the end of the day, she became the first programmer, the first female computer programmer. She wrote a book, she discovered an algorithm. Until today, though she is late, she died at her late 30s or so, she is still respected in the world. In fact, there's always a program, there's always a seminar competition, there's always a presentation that is being done on her name, bringing women of tech women coming together, and is named Ada Lovelace program also. So all these things you see, it was her passion and desire. She forgot about all the odd. She took her mind away from everything. She removed her mind, she removed her thoughts. She did not want to know what is going on about her environment and focused on the tech. And she became great. What about the CEO of YouTube? Many of us, we know YouTube, but we don't know the CEO. We don't know the CEO that she's a lady. But we watch YouTube, we know all about YouTube. Now look at what she said. She said, tech is an incredible force that will change our world in ways we can anticipate. If that force is only 20 to 30% women, if that force is only 20 to 30% women, that is a problem. You can see what he's saying, that if women do not get more involved in tech today, the world will be in trouble. The world will be in serious trouble if women are not involved in tech, because of the way the world is changing. The world is fast changing. In fact, we are already in the end time. Technologies everywhere. And now it's telling us that if 20 or 30% women only is the workforce in the tech, then we are in trouble. The world is in trouble. So it tells you that the world is looking for women, looking for tech sisters. The world is looking for that sister who will think and bring out something new. The world is looking for that sister who will sit down, look at our environment, that thing in your hand, bring out something new. This is what she said. She was somebody who started in the Google. She was part of the Google, the founder of Google, and she was their marketing agent. And then after some time, she brought out something new. She said, okay, we can start this advertising of Google businesses online. She thought of it. She was the one that thought of this advertising online and all those things. And then it came out, and then it worked out. And then she put it up again and said, why not we do something and collaborate? And then before you know, YouTube came out. And she is the CEO now of YouTube. You can see how she thought of that. You can see that tech needs women because of so many qualities God has given women. So why then do we need women in tech? Or why then do we need sisters in tech? Women think differently. They think differently. Women think, but their thinking capability is so high. What in fact, somebody will say that what a man is thinking, a woman has already thought of it ahead. So they think differently. Today in the tech world, women are working the world. Those ones that are already in the tech world, they are thinking differently. They think what others cannot think. They see differently, they understand differently, and then they are using it to implement great things in the tech. Most of those that are CEOs, you can see those like in the YouTube, many of the CEOs, many of the founders, and those just recently the one that the last speaker just showed us, many of them, they think differently and they have helped their companies. And that is why you see their company, their financial status is increasing every day. Go and do a research, go and check the internet, check those companies that women are CEOs. You will see that many of those companies, they are fast rising in finances. Their finances are posted so high because of the ability of the women. And they have diversity of thought. A woman can relate in tech easily with anyone. Hardly men relate in tech. I'm in the tech world, I know what I'm saying. I have some of my colleagues also female who are in the tech world also. They easily come to meet and discuss. They easily come to share ideas. In fact, sometimes what she's thinking, I'll be like, oh my God, how did you know this? And I'll just be looking, how come you got this? But men will sometimes, so difficult for sometimes women to go and meet our fellow men to say, okay, come, let's bring out something new. Let's bring out something. Let's come out with something new. It's so difficult for women. And therefore, because of that, women are needed, because when a woman is in tech, definitely there are new things that will come, and we need more role models. There are a lot of roles. And she said 10. In fact, if I check how many men rock the world, how many men are in tech, you will see thousands of people. But women, you see, they'll say top 5, top 10. But if it's men, they'll be telling you top 30. Forbes is telling you top 30, top 50, top 70, like that. But women, top 5, top 3. Why? Because of the scarcity of women in the tech world, because of the low percentage of women in the tech world. So all these things should propel us to enter into the tech. All these things should make us understand that the tech world needs us, needs ladies, needs women. The tech world needs women to come out with something new and something wonderful. So what is the roadmap to a successful tech sister? How can I become a success? If I want to become a successful tech sister, what role, what steps should I take? How should I begin? What roadmap should I take? One, she must be open to exploring unknown territories. She must be open. You must go to do research. You must watch news. You must read papers. You must find out more information. Don't just stay and keep quiet. You cannot know. The tech is all about exposure. The tech is growing every day. Don't be backward. If you are backward, you cannot be a tech sister. You cannot advance in technology. You need to start exploring unknown territories. How can you explore unknown territories? You need to start watching. You need to start understanding what is going on in the world. You need to sit down and look at, there are many things. Forget about, okay, apart from Nigeria, I know many of us are in Nigeria. Many things are not happening in Nigeria. If you talk of other countries, you see China, you go to news, what is happening in China today, what is happening in Japan today, technologies in US, and everywhere you see things in the supermarket. Oh, you like supermarket? Oh, you like going to the supermarket? Okay, how do I explore something in the supermarket to check the new advance? All those things, you need to start exploring unknown territories. You need to sit down and start looking for things that are new. Secondly, you need to find a mentor. You need to get a mentor. Look for a mentor. There are so many of them on the social media. There are so many of them in Twitter. There are so many of them in LinkedIn. Check for them. Go to Facebook. Follow many of them. Watch the current news of some of these tech women, how they began, what they are into. Sometimes some of them look for ladies. They look for young ladies that they want to train. They set up communities. They set up communities to take in ladies that they can train in tech. So look for some of them, follow some of them, find somebody that you can say, okay, just like the last speaker brought out 10 of those people that are doing very well in tech. Look for some of them, look for their handle, their social handle. Follow some of them, understand what they are doing in the tech world. And I tell you, when you do that, you have a lot of knowledge. You will come out with something new. You come out with ideas, because even sometimes they create platform. They tell you, if you have a proposal, if you have something new, you can send to us. Sometimes they do some of these things. They give some opportunities for young ladies to come and show their talent, showcase what you have. All these things can help you, can advance you, even to rock the world. So seek out for tech conferences and programs, mostly for women. There are a lot. You go to the internet, there are a lot. Just because of time, I could not even get, there are a lot of conferences. Just recently, they had a conference for data science, women in data sciences. Just recently, there are a lot of conferences. Go online, look for some of those conferences. Check online, you can attend online. Yeah, because of, many of them now are running online. You can attend online and acquire knowledge, acquire skills, so that we can be able to achieve God's program, because the world today is advancing. And the only way, and one of the way we can achieve God's program, and which our daddy is crying for, the man of God, is crying that we will rock the world. And for us to rock the world, we have to match program for programs. We have to match technology for technology. They are bringing out technology today that are causing terrible things. I saw something just recently, last week or so, a lady or so, bringing out a robot, a sex robot, a female sex robot or something like that. And then you can see what she thought about. Why won't a sister just think about, okay, let me design, let me bring out, let me think of something new, like, okay, design a technology, design a robot, find some of this community. I want to design a robot that this robot can detect if somebody is doing evil. Let's say in my home, somebody takes something that is not meant to be his or hers, and then my robotic just begin to speak. Oh, don't do this. A lot of things need to be taught. Think of your home. Think of whatever your business. Oh, you are working on, you're a business person, you sell clothes, or you sell, okay, how can I reach my clients that is far away? How can I reach him or her? How can I be able to get access to whatever I'm doing in the tech world so that my clients can benefit? All these things you need to think. And how can you know those things? Attending conference. There's a conference, I think a conference will be coming up on the future of tech in designing. That is the future of designing in tech, sorry. And they want to bring a lot of fashion designers that will come together. Now, what are they coming together? They're coming together to sit down, to talk about how they will use their fashion designing in the tech world. You can imagine that. And then if somebody don't know anything about that, and then you say, oh, I'm a good tailor, I'm a good, and then at the end of the day, you are not being patronized. It's the world has left you far, far behind. There are a lot of conferences. How a smart kitchen today, you know how to prepare, how to use some of these devices. Many of us don't know how to use some of these tech devices. We don't know how to use it. We are not interested in it. We just, okay, it's expensive. We just want to buy Apple phone. We just want to buy iPad. We just want to buy laptop. We just want to buy all. But at the end of the day, we don't know how to use it. We just want to shine with it. But many tech people, tech ladies are using those things to rock the world. They are using those things to control their homes. How many of us know that you can use your phone to control your home? You can be a housewife, you can get a phone. There are many phones, there are smart devices. I don't know whether it's in Nigeria now, or I don't know whether they're already in Nigeria, but I can tell you that, yeah, in India also, yeah, there are some homes. In fact, in our home here now, we can use our phone to operate some things, operate our TV, operate our lights. And so we can use our phone to do that. So many people don't know that. So if you get some of these devices, you just say, okay, I have devices. It is good for us to get connected to tech. And so, still on that also, you need to build and maintain a track record of success. You need to start something, just like the last speaker said, implement a project, confront obstacles. Do not be afraid of anything. Face that thing you are thinking of. Will it be possible? Will it not be possible? Confront it. It's possible. It's possible. You can do it. Enhance your business skills. Be up to date with the industry. Be up to date. I've already said a lot about that. Be up to date. Let's be up to date. Technology is fast growing. Let's be up to date. Let's see what is going on and come out with something new. Form a community. I'll plead with our leaders to form a community, of tech sisters. Let those that are experienced, just like as the last speaker just said, she's also an experienced person by the grace of God. She can also be there to train our sisters in the tech world. Let's form a community, bring them together from all parts, the watchmen sisters all over the places, bring them all parts. And let's start opening their eyes to the tech world so that they can know that that phone in their hand is not just ordinary phone. That laptop in their hand is not just ordinary laptop. That thing you see, that TV you see, is not ordinary a TV. Something happened. Let me just give you an experience. I went to a friend's house, and when I went to his friend's house, his TV was a smart TV. And then I took my laptop. And then when I took my laptop, I began to use his Wi-Fi to operate his smart TV. And then he was looking, what is going on with my TV? What is going on with my TV? What is going on? But he never knew that it was from my laptop I was operating his TV. So you can see that tech world is going very, very fast so that you will not be left behind. So be up to date, understand the things that is going on, know how to operate with your devices. Whatever business you're doing, find the best way, the tech way. Speak your mind and stand your ground. Do not be afraid, stand your ground. If you see somebody is telling you, it's so difficult, it's not possible. To be a data scientist, a data analyst, it's not possible. To be a network engineer, it's not possible. For you to understand Excel, for you to understand all this, it's not possible, it's difficult. Just no. Don't accept that. Refuse it. Use social media to elevate your message. Use the social media very well. Go there, use it, elevate your message. What are you good at? If you understand a little thing, use social media to elevate yourself. Get news, get information, add up yourself to some of these tech programs, and then you see yourself fast going. Don't fear rejection. That is one of the things that many ladies do fear. Rejection, intimidation. When they say, okay, let's come for a tech conference, and when we are gathered together for a tech conference, you might see only 5 or 6 ladies out of 30 men, young men. And then you see the lady hanging her bag. And then she's like, oh, she's intimidated. Oh, like that is what is happening. And the next day of the conference, you might not see them. But don't fear rejection. Stand your ground. Invest in training and relationship building. Our last speaker just said it. Take your time, invest in training. She has showed us some of the training. The Coursera is a very good platform where you can learn a lot. There are a lot. There are Udemy. Udemy is there. Even YouTube. You can go to YouTube and learn how to use some of these tech devices. There are a lot of tech devices today. The world, in fact, many technologies and researchers have helped to have brought out many software. Developers have developed a lot of software and have made everything so easy for you. If you want to do anything, if you want to cook today, there are a lot of software that can help you. If you want to work today, if you want to sleep, in fact, where I'm doing my research today, one of the professors there is working on a research titled Sleep. You know what they call sleep? That is, somebody will be sleeping now, and as he's sleeping now, you can detect, the person can detect whether what is going on in his environment. A lot of things are happening. That is, you are sleeping now, but you want to detect what is happening in your environment while you are asleep. So you can see that a lot of things is happening. There's another one that is going on where I'm doing my research. A mother now, that is, they are working on a research project that is coming up very soon. Very soon you will see it, where you can detect the emotion of your children. If your child is crying, you don't need your child to tell you this is why he or she is crying. You just look at your child, and then with the earpiece, is like an earpiece with a sensor, and then you put it on the child's head and you detect it, press it with your phone. It tells you why your child is crying. All these things are tech world. They are planning, all these things are coming up soon. So if you are not associated with tech world, don't understand all this, you will be left behind. So invest in training, get understanding, get knowledge. Take some of these courses, associate, communicate with people, and then you will see yourself advancing in the tech world. So tech women, there are a lot of tech women platform communities. You can see women who go, many of them, because of time, I'm just rushing everything. I'll not be able to, you can just see them go to look for some of these women platforms. Many of them, there are a lot of platforms whereby they bring women, thousands of women from different parts of the world, a community whereby people can come. You can just go there and just sign in, and then you see some of these things and learn and get knowledge and be able to implement some of these tools. You don't need to, you might just go there, so okay, let me see what is going on in the tech world. How is it happening? So that you cannot be lost, so that you can know how you can implement it. If tomorrow you get married or you are already married, how will I implement it in my marriage? How will I implement it in my career? How will I implement it? There are a lot of business women today who are making waves through the tech world. They go into some of this community, they get knowledge, they get connection, and then you see their business going very fast. You see many of them into businesses, though they are not this thing, they are not tech, they are not a scientists. They are not into networking, but they go into those communities, get connection, and see them get connection, and their business start growing. So some of them, even in fashion designing today, there are a lot. Go to those communities, you see people who are doing fashion designing, even in the tech world. They're using technologies to do fashion designing. Is it kitchen? Is it cooking? People are using tech to do that. They're using tech to cook. You can see. So women cannot be separated from tech, because women are the gateway to the world. I tell you, the world today, women are the gateway. Wherever it is, women controls the home, controls the office, controls everywhere. And if a woman who will want to be successful, even in the future, if Christ tarries, she needs to be a tech person. And I can tell you, If you follow these steps, you will be a tech sister, because easily, once you are able to just get into the tech world as a lady, and then you think differently, because it's easy for a lady to think. You think differently, come out with something new, take that your business, look of what you will add to it, think, what will I add to it? What will I subtract to it? And easily you will see, you will be found. So there are a lot of recommended courses: data sciences, cloud computing, IoT, artificial intelligence, a lot of courses that you can do. A lot of courses as a lady, you can do them. They are not difficult. I did not do program. They are not difficult. They are not difficult. It's just for your mind, your passion. Just focus on it. Look at it and say, okay, let me come out to something. I tell you, one thing is this: what is that thing that you desire as a lady? What is your goal? What is that thing you desire? What do you wish? Let me give you a clue. Just like as our pastor was saying, I'm working on IoT, smart home security. And then while I was working on my research, I came to think of something. And what was that? I said, okay, why not I add something to my smart home security? Why not I add something? Let me bring in something from the tech world. Let me still add something to it. And that was why I came with machine learning. I had to add machine learning into my smart home. So you can also do something. You're a business person, you're a businesswoman. You can think, okay, what should I add to my business? Look at some of these things. What should I add? How should I add something to my shop? I'm a fashion designer. What should I add? Let's not say that this, sometimes there's a wrong word. People will say, this is for women. This work is for women. And fashion designing, businesses, clothes selling, shoes selling, and all those things, they are for women. These ones are for men. No, if you think like that, you cannot be in the tech world. And the world has passed that stage. The world has passed that level. The world is no more at that point. Forget about what you are seeing in Nigeria today. There is a lot of gaps, just like as the speaker just recently, she just said, there are a lot of gaps. A lot of things. There are things that are happening. Even if you say you want to be a nurse, there are a lot of things that the world, the medical field now is all about tech. They have added technology into the medical field. If you go for a job interview, they ask you, do you know how to operate with a smart bed? Do you know how to operate with a patient monitoring device? There are a lot of things. You say you want to go into teaching. Do you know how to operate with the projector? Do you know how to operate with the smart board? All those things are there. What is it that you want to go into that you don't need the tech? What is it? You say you want to go, definitely you will be asked. So you cannot escape it. You cannot escape tech world. You can never escape it. It's something that in near future, which we are already in, within a space of 2 years or 3 years, everything will be tech. So you need to look at it and say, what will I add? What are you doing? Are you a student? Oh, what are you studying as a student? Okay, let's say you're a student and you're not into the tech world. You're into the social world. Let's say you're into the education line or whatever other line apart from the tech world. What will you do? Take in that your course, take in that your program, add it into the tech world. Look at it. How will I bring into the tech world? Look at some of these courses in the tech world. We have data sciences. Are you operating with data? Is there things that you are working with? Oh, you are always listing out something. This is all about accounting. You can work with data. You can work with cloud computing. Are you the type that are into designing? You are into businesses. You can work with IoT. You can work with IoT. You can work with someone, even if you are into finances and all, you can work with security. You can just add some of those things. And then these things make you a tech sister. So let's take our mind away from all this. So you do soap. In fact, you want to do soap, just like I want to make soap. Oh, I want to be making soap. I want to be making detergent. I want to be making all those things. Wow, those are fantastic. But you can add tech to it. You can put it, you can add tech, you can take it, look at the tech, go into the tech world. Look at those people. There are a lot of people today who are using some of those things in the tech world. They are making waves. Do you know that there are some soap today? There are all these soap that If you, I don't know how to explain them. If you go to the internet now, you see some of some of this soap now that they make. That is, it can detect your body skin and some of those things that it detects, like it detects your body. You go to it, you see everywhere, detergent and all those things like that. Some of us don't know how to use washing machine. If you tell them to use washing machine, oh, we just take to dry cleaner or we just take our hand to begin to work. Oh, that is fantastic. That is good, but we are past that. The world has passed that stage. A lot of things, a lot of platforms are being brought. A lot of platforms are being brought. So we need to look at it this way, that whatsoever you are doing, if you must be a tech sister, that thing you are doing, take tech, add it to that thing. There are a lot of techs. Data science is there, cloud computing is there, IoT is there, artificial security is there, networking is there, Microsoft Word, everything is there. A lot. Add it to your program, add it to your business. Once you do that, forget it. You're already a tech sister. Do not be afraid. If you don't know it, communicate with people who already know these things. Just like the two last speakers said, it's all about communication. Tech world is a very vast world. It's filled with a lot of professionals. You can say, okay, I know somebody who is a data scientist. Wow. And I'm working on this. Just like as I'm working on my research work now, I'm working with two people. One is a professor in networking. One is a professor in networking. And the other person is a professor also in IoT. I say I'm working with all of them, even though I'm also working in security. So I'm working with networking, I'm working with IoT, I'm working with security. And just of recent, I discovered that, oh, I can work with machine learning. Okay, now I'm already working. I'm looking for some professors, one or two, who I can collaborate with for machine learning. That is tech work for you. You take these things, you look for somebody, okay, data science, oh, look for, okay, wow, IoT, get one, communicate with people as you're doing your business. Oh, I want my business to boost. I want my business in the cloud. Look for a cloud engineer. Look for somebody. Look for a network. Oh, I want this thing. Look for a network engineer. I want to secure my business. I want my business to be on the internet. I want it to be secure. Get a web developer. Associate with those people. And then as you are doing it, you will see yourself as a lady, as a tech sister. Let's see what somebody said. He said, let's see the quote of this co-founder of Women 2.0. He said, women no longer have an if I can mindset. Oh, if I can do it. Oh, will I be able to do it? Is it possible for me? Now it is more about how I can. Just like I said, how I can be in tech. Start something in tech. Fund something in tech. That shift is exciting. And it happened because we created a network where we show daily that women are innovating. This is a very good platform, which I can suggest women, sisters can go check. It's also a community, Women 2.0. Check that platform, check that community. There are a lot of things there you can learn. Connect with people, some tech ladies, both in Nigeria, they are there, Nigerians, many people are there. Connect and then learn something from there. And I tell you, when you have this mindset that how I can take that thing that I'm doing to be in the tech, how I can start something in the tech, how I can fund something in the tech. When you take that mindset of whatever you are doing, how I can connect it with the tech, I tell you, you're already a tech sister. So I just have to rush this because of our time, being so time fast spent. Thank you so much for the opportunity. God bless us all.
Praise the Lord. We want to thank our brother who just finished speaking to us. Now we are about to go to the Lord in prayer. As we conclude, we thank God for bringing us to the end of this very wonderful, timely program. And wherever we are, I want to encourage us to the things that we have heard. not just to be hearers, but also doers, because it is they that are doers that are blessed. And so we are going to be praying right now. Wherever you are, I want you to lift up your voice and first of all, appreciate God for the knowledge that you have gotten from this great program. Open your mouth and begin to appreciate the name of the Lord. Thank the Lord for adding knowledge to you, for selling knowledge or selling truths about technology and how we can change our world as women, how we can make a name for ourselves and carve a niche for ourselves in this generation. Open your mouth, because God is interested in us as women. And that is why he had made this program. And so begin to appreciate the name of the Lord and bless his name and say, Father, I appreciate you. Thank you for this great program. Appreciate the name of the Lord for all the speakers that God has used even to sell knowledge to us this evening. Father, we bless your name. We thank you for this great opportunity and this great meeting. Lord, we thank you for the knowledge that you have sold even to our souls, eternal Redeemer. Lord, we say, be thou exalted in the name of Jesus. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Sisters, wherever you are, we are going to pray and tell the Lord and say, Lord, I am committing myself to begin to do these things I have heard. I take a commitment that I'm going to go and pursue it, pursue technology in my field. Open your mouth and begin to make that commitment. You can place your hand on your chest and say, Lord, I take up this commitment to not just be a hearer of these things, but I go to do them. Open your mouth and begin to pray and tell the Lord, I make a commitment. I take a decision to be a tech sister. To be a tech sister, open your mouth and begin to pray and say, Lord, I take a decision this evening. The things I've heard, I take a decision to look at them, to see which area that I have passion for, and begin to work on those areas. Open your mouth and begin to tell the Lord, my Father, my God, I take a decision tonight, Lord, to not just be a hearer of these things, but also to be a doer of the things that I've heard. Lord, I'm praying and asking, oh God, that you give me the strength, you give me the grace to pursue these things. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. Everlasting Father, we want to appreciate you for this great gathering. We thank you for bringing us to the end of this great program. We thank you for the things that you have given us. We thank you for the vessels that you used to pass this knowledge. We are praying and asking, oh God, that you continue to bless them in Jesus' name. Father, we pray for ourselves that, Lord, even as we go back to our different fields, to our different career, help us, oh God, that we are going to put these things into practice, and in no less time, our greatness will be seen by others. And others also will be able to celebrate us and to be able to tell our stories, and also will be able to tell our stories that is from this great program that we began to bet something new. Father, we thank you because you have given us everything that we need to create new things. And so, Lord, we thank you, and we go, oh God, to create new things. We go to explore. We go to become solution givers, even in our fields. Thank you, precious Redeemer. We cover ourselves with the blood of Jesus. Let your name be highly exalted. Be thou glorified. For in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. Thank you so much, sisters, for coming. God bless us. Please, let's also not forget, let's use this opportunity. Let's not forget our program, Sabbath unto the Lord, starting tomorrow morning by 6 a.m. Please, the first section is starting on Zoom. Please, we want to encourage us to make ourselves available, as God has started with us today, and he wants to continue with us. So let's make ourselves available tomorrow morning and in the evening as well by 6:30 p.m. The venue at our fellowship center Please, let's also talk to people about this program. First of all, like we are told, to invite ourselves first. Let's invite ourselves first. And as we do so, God will bless us richly in Jesus' name.